You're
Dr.
waiting for the
Or.
principal.
No, no, he joined. He joined.
Okay, okay, fine. My voice is audible, clear?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
It is
from
audible.
your side, little bit increase the volume. Yeah, yeah, we can go ahead.
Sir, shall we start, sir? Principal, sir.
Yes, yes, I am ready. You can start.
Okay. Good
It's
morning
some
to
more
all.
students.
It gives immense pleasure to present the welcome address in this webinar titled "How to Plan Startup: Legal and Ethical Steps," uh, organized by Department of Mechanical Engineering jointly with IIC institution. It gives immense pleasure to present the welcome address in this webinar. My hearty welcome to our Honorable Vice Chairman, Engineer E.V. Kumaran. My grateful welcome to our Registrar, Dr. R. Satyasilan. My honored welcome to our beloved Principal, Dr. R. Ravichandran. To today's chief guest, Thiru E. Nagarajan, R&D Head, Solvage Technology Services Limited, Chennai. My warm welcome to IIC Convener, Dr. M. Jyotish Kumar. My cordial welcome to all the faculties and my cheerful welcome to all the students. Today, we are having eminent personality with us to discuss about the how to plan for the startup and the related legal and ethical steps. And once again, I welcome you all for this August gathering. And it is my duty to introduce our today's chief guest, Thiru E. Nagarajan, completed BCSC from Institute of Road and Transport Technology, Erode, master degree from Satyabama University, and currently pursuing PhD. He served as a professor in academic institution for 17 years. He is a principal investigator in the R&D project associated with the IGCAR Kalpakam and published many international journals and conferences. Currently working as R&D head in Solvage Technology Services Limited. He had founded 2 startups in HTIC MedTech in IIT Chennai. So definitely we are having a lot more input related to this today's topic. I request all the students utilize and have the discussion with the chief guest to clarify your doubts. Once again, I welcome you all for this wonderful webinar. Now I request our principal to felicitate the gathering. Please, sir.
Good morning to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to be part of this webinar on start session on how to plan for startup and legal and ethical steps. It is a need of the hour. It is wonderfully organized by the Institution of Innovation Council and the Department of Mechanical Engineering jointly for the benefit of the students of mechanical engineering. So we have a very good, immense personality, R&D head of R&D head of Solvage Technologies Services Limited, Mr. Engineer E. Nagarajan. Why we need legal and ethical steps? Why we need to go for startup and startup? So today the job market is changing, ever changing, never before. So we have job potential, but in the form of startups, but in the form of entrepreneurial opportunities. So entrepreneurship is the one every engineer should pursue in his or her career one time or another, either small scale or large scale. So entrepreneurship is the ability to be ready to develop, organize, run a business on his or her own. You'll undergo a lot of uncertainties while in the process of making a profit, but at the same time you'll get a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. You'd use land, labor, natural resources, capitals to generate a profit. So in this course of action, we have to encounter with the society, the government, and a lot of other stakeholders. During your process of entrepreneurial activity, you will encounter certain legal or ethical issues. You should be in position to change it, face it, and at the same time meaningfully solve it. So in this circumstance, we need a clear eye-opening on this area. So we have brought in the immense personality, Engineer E. Nagarajan. So I hope all students will have a very good time with this session. So make use of this session, and you can interact with the chief guest either during webinar according to the convenience. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for your motivational speech, and thanks for your support forever for the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Now I request our chief guest to take over the dais. Please, sir.
Thanks, Dr. Jaikumar. Thanks, Dr. Ravichandran, Principal of Arunai Engineering College. Thanks for giving me an opportunity. And let me start the presentation. I hope you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine, good.
Yes.
Yeah. So as Dr. Jaikumar has mentioned that I've just started 2 startups, but I'll just share my few of my experiences, what actually went wrong with both the startups. So I couldn't able to really further venture into that, but still that's a big experience for me. Still I have the desire in me to actually further pursue. As the principal has said in his opening statement that now the job markets are really drying up, and people have to really focus on the entrepreneurial skills so that you can create your own jobs and uplift the society. All these things are really great, but if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you want to start a company, a startup, then you should have a passion for it. Passion is very, very important. See, you all will like one particular thing in your life, so you will have a more passion towards that. The more you become more passionate and you become more success in that particular scenario. It can be anything. It can be sports, or it can be education, or it can be anything. Similarly, this is also another where you have to have a passion for it. Without passion, it's not like a kind of a thing like we are not trying to actually replace a job with don't have a job, start a company. It's not like that. See, if you look at the startups, we are all now taking some examples of the people who are really successful. Out of 100 people ventured the startup, where 95%, 96% of failures, only 4% or 3% makes up to the bigger level, and we talk about them. Then what's actually happening? What is the things that we need initially? Because most of our Indian setup, Indian culture, actually, especially in the South India side, the startups making the culture of we start companies and trying to take to the next level. Still we are in a very, very nascent stage, or in the very, very primitive stage. So I just want to say a few things. What are the qualities of an entrepreneur? We all say that we all want to start a company. Good, that's all very good. What should be a quality of an entrepreneur? If we don't have these qualities, then how can we cultivate these qualities? Nothing wrong. No one was born with this world with all the things to achieve. So we have to actually slowly build our capabilities, qualities to get it to this level. Self-discipline. The first thing is very, very important. Is the self-discipline. We should be very, very disciplined ourselves. We have to actually discipline in the sense that okay, we should have a passion as well as your self-discipline. As Principal said in the initial opening notes, he said that there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. We talk only the successful entrepreneur at the end, saying that okay, Elon Musk has become the world's richest person, or the Microsoft CEO, or Amazon, Jeff Bezos reaching the topmost. But if you look at the lifespan infographic of their life, how many failures they have. So our mind, actually, we have to self-tune our mind, our conscious, that we are going to have a lot of failures that's going to come in our life. It's going to happen at various stages of our journey, but we have to determine ourselves to go for it. Whatever happens, we should keep moving forward, push ourselves forward. We should not really disappoint ourselves, or we should not come back. So we should not lose. So that kind of discipline we should have. Self-discipline ourselves, to motivate ourselves, to push ourselves to the next level. Definitely, we are not tuned to that. Because right now you're all students. You all being nourished or being pushed or backed by your parents right now. Whatever you ask, your parents are giving you, and some of the things you may not get, but still you are all being in a very, very cushion seat right now. You doesn't know exactly what is the thing an entrepreneur going through in a span to reach the success. So self-discipline is very, very important. And in the integrity is the next thing, very, very important, is that you should be very, very truthfulness. You should have 100% truthfulness, the trustworthy, because the customers or the employees or the management or the stakeholders or the investors, so they all should believe you. They all should have a trust on you. Without trust, nothing is going to happen. So integrity is very, very important. The trustworthiness, the truthfulness, the transparency. Whatever you do, it should be very transparent, should be truthful, and you should create a trust among all the stakeholders of this entrepreneurial journey. Otherwise, it's not possible for you to really become very, very successful entrepreneur. Persistence, as I said, persistence is very, very important. And okay, you cannot build Rome in a single day. So you have to build brick by brick. So it's not like okay, I start the company today. Okay, in 6 months span or in 1 year span, I should get this much of a profit. No company does that. Even you could, I'll show you infographic of Elon Musk. His journey is not very easy. Right now, we are talking about him as the greatest role model of the century, and he's the #1 richest person. Okay, that's all comes after the ships he has gone through. So the persistence is very, very important. We should keep pushing. We cannot get the profit, or we cannot get everything overnight. It can take 10 years or 20 years. Even look at the Zoom Rainbow Street there. Okay, how many years he has taken to reach to this level in the IT industry. So it's not that much easy for us to actually, or any industry you take, it's not very easy. You have to keep persisting, keep moving. It's a clear sense of direction. That's what really important. You should have a clear sense of direction, in which direction you are going. What is your vision? What is your mission? What is your goal? Okay, what you're supposed to achieve in this business? Okay, what is your mission? You are moving towards that particular direction. That is very, very important, because we are tend to be diverted by a lot of other factors coming in. Oh, why can't you try this? Because this is going to be a next boom. Someone says that, okay, why can't you try this? So you should not deviate here and there. So you should have a clear focus, clear direction, and based on that, you should keep moving. Then decision and action oriented. So whatever you already set the goal, your mission. Now it's up to you. Whatever the actions you take, the decisions you make, everything should go towards that particular action-oriented goal. Otherwise, it's not easy for us to succeed. So these are all very, very important qualities of an entrepreneur. If you don't possess these kind of qualities, then it's very, very tough to become successful. So all other legal activities or all these things will all come later on. All those things, but initially you're going to be the one who is going to actually put all your ambitions into success. So you are the one who's going to start your journey. No one is going to come along with you. So you have to push yourself harder and harder, so that all other things will fall in your feet as you go progress. So that's very, very important. Just wanted to tell you, and I just want to show you the infographics of Elon Musk. Okay, how he has really come to this level. Okay, just to show you this infographics. Okay, look at this infographics of Elon Musk. Okay, you all know Elon Musk. So he is the CEO of Tesla, one of the co-founder of Tesla, the electric motor vehicles, which we now is going to come to India. Recently, they have the government has made a lot of efforts in bringing Tesla here in India, and yes, even SpaceX, another bigger ambitious project right now, is successful in actually having reshuttling spacecraft so that you can use the same spacecraft for multiple purpose of journey. Now he's doing a lot of business of transporting cargo from one space station to another space station with the help of NASA, and he is having a vision of sending people to Mars in 2025. Look at the way he has come to this level. So look at this. Okay, like what he was actually doing. So this is all like his initial stages. We not focus on that. See, he writes at the age of 12, he writes a video game, okay, and sells it for $500. That was the first entrepreneurial skill he has accumulated. Then he started learning basics. Then he started with the basic. He wrote this video gaming. Then he has decided to actually a life mission to save humanity. So he just really started off thinking about SpaceX very long back itself, but that doesn't come very reality. And he moves to Canada, so that was a good move. Then from there he moves to US, so works odd jobs, stays with relatives, gets a job shoveling dirt in boiler. So look at the way he worked boiler room for 18 hours per hour. Then he started going for a college. He did his physics there. Then then he works in a bank. Then look at the way it transforms. Then he started PayPal. There is one more big thing that has happened in his lifetime. Is actually he has been part of PayPal, and he was the CEO of the PayPal for some time. Then later they have sold the PayPal from the PayPal. He got a lot of money, used that money when he started Tesla. So you can see the complete flow. He has been a StartXCom. First he started StartXCom, then he ventured into PayPal. So merging StartXCom with PayPal, then he became the CEO of the PayPal. Then later they boosted him out of CEO of the PayPal. Then he invested a lot of money on PayPal. Then he started his own SpaceX to build his own rocket with his own money. So look at how much of money. If you look at his complete life cycle, the money he spent is more than what he has actually earned. But all these missions, if it all comes true, whatever he thinks, everything, if it comes true, then it's going to be like no one can replace him in the first place. So everything finally comes down to the wealth what he has acquired. So if you look at all these things, just complete. He also has a lot of rough spaces in his life. Okay, he was almost bankrupt. Okay, Tesla as well as SpaceX was completely going into bankrupt because he has pumped a lot of money to Tesla, actually trying to actually test the shuttling rocket, but a lot of failures happened. First he tried to launch, land it in the sea, doesn't happen. Failed, landed in the land, doesn't happen, then landed on a ship. So a lot of things he tried. So 5 or 6 attempts after that only he has succeeded. Then he got a contact to NASA. So look at the way the 4th launch success. So he was, SpaceX and Tesla are both running out of cash. almost going to be bankrupt at this point of time. Then his fourth launch. So that was the persistence he was having. Fourth launch succeeded. So wins NASA contract for 12 flights. So that 1.68 billion. So that has really taken him to the next level. Then he is able to manage Tesla and Walmart right now. And he has even started a few more Neuralink, another company called Neuralink, where he's trying to inject thin air-like structures inside our brain and trying to actually transmit the neuro signals and try to identify the pattern in which we actually humans think and all these things. So he has come a long way. So this is infographics, and right now I don't want to bore you with all these things, but still I just want to tell you that in 2025 he wants to push people into the mass. So that was his right is a dream. So that is very important that we should have self-discipline, integrity, persistence, clear sense of direction, decision, and action oriented. What? Okay, next we'll go to, when you have all these things, all other things already come. You'll have people to support you on all legal issues, startups. So nowadays, starting a startup is very, very easy. Whether you guys have a entrepreneurial cell in your incubation, do you have any incubation in your college where the central government is funding this kind of incubation cells to actually nurture the startups? And that's the way actually I end up in IIT Madras. STIC, as Jaykumar was trying giving me about my introduction. So STIC is a medical medtech startups incubation where they actually nurture all the startups who are actually ready to venture into medical related softwares or devices. So that's the way actually I started my 2 years back. I entered in a competition and tried to actually create a software, a virtual reality platform for the patients. So for one of the hospitals in Chennai, so I don't want to name the client. So we, myself and one of the doctors, we both partnered ourselves and we started creating the virtual reality platform model. And things like, you should have self-discipline, persistence, and all these things. So that was some rift between me and my partner in the first venture. We couldn't go in parallel, so even selecting good partners, and even we have to actually make sure that I don't say that I don't say I choose the wrong partner. I choose a very good partner only, but things doesn't subsidize at some point of time. So I think that something went wrong between us. So we were able to take that to the next level. We have to part it out at some point of time. So, but that has really come up as a good product, and we even had one. You should take a pen and paper, start writing. What is your mission? What is your vision? Okay, what is your short-term goal? What is your long-term goal? Okay, that should be the first point. So any company which has a proper vision and mission, definitely it will reach to its day. This company has this much of billions and billions of money. Everything is finally boiling down to something called in terms of money. Okay, we all wealth in terms of wealth. We want to get a lottery, nothing like that. So the customers. So we have to actually make sure that the customers are our base. Without customers, no company exists. Every company has a customers. Customers are the one who is actually giving us the job and giving us the money actually to run the business. So we have to actually enlighten the customers. It's not like satisfying the customer. You have to enlighten the customer. The customer should be very, very happy with the service, whatever we provide, so that they just take that as a testimonial to other customers, so that we can get a lot of other new customers also. So customers, focusing on customers is the potential customers of this particular product. Overall, my competitors, that is also very important. And what are the features my competitors are edging over me in attracting the customers? So how do I attract more customers? So that's very, very important. Great management team. You should have a good team to actually run through. Even if you look at your department, you have good professors, you have a good HOD, you have a good principal, to actually who manages the complete college, and every department they have a separate HODs and year coordinators, year HODs. So you have a proper structured team to manage the whole process. So that is very, very important. Now you're all going to start. Okay, 1 or 2 members, it's okay. It's not like you have to have a big team. You should not have a big team initially. It's very, very important. There are a few companies which is actually running with few employees, 3 or 4 employees. They're doing really well. So the core team, it's very important. You have to build your core team. The core team, you have to make sure that as you're the founder or the CEO of a company, you have to take this core team to the next level. Okay, see, but it's not easy, as well as exit is also not easy. If you really select good candidates, good employees, you should not leave them. You should hold them tightly. You should make sure that you retain the employees. Very, very important. Everything all depends upon the discipline of the employee, the talent and hard work. So you have to actually give credit and value is important, and make sure that he really gives you a lot of value added to your company. So that kind of impression you should create and retain the employee talents. Keeping detailed financial records, this is very important, because you have to keep financial records. You have to have a balance sheet. So it's very important when you start your company on day one. So balance sheet is every day, what is your expense, what is your spending, and what are the things you have as a profit. So everything has to be recorded in terms of balance sheets. You'll have a lot of people to support you on these grounds. So you'll have financial consultants or accounts. Those kind of people really help you out in keeping detailed financial records. Then on these things, continuing to keep innovating. Innovating is very, very important. Look at the innovation. Look at the idea. So Tesla, you think that you are the one who's coming with a new idea? No one in this world is have any new idea. Not like that. So everything is like already existing. You're trying to fine tune it. Okay, you're trying to fine tune based on the need of the customer at the hour, and trying to actually come out with a better product. So all products are already existing. Competitors already have this product. You fine tune it. Even if you look at the reshuttling space rocket, what Elon Musk was trying it, is it? You think that this was a new? NASA was already trying it for a longer time, couldn't able to succeed, and he was the one who could able to succeed. Even if you look at this, Tesla launched the battery cars. So you think that this is the first time that battery cars concept came? Only Elon Musk has brought this concept? No, already a lot of Tata Motors and other big stakeholders in automobile industry were trying this concept, but they couldn't able to succeed. But he's the one who is able to succeed with new features and concepts. So it's very important that innovating, you should keep trying out with some new ideas, new features to push your products, to push your but as I said, the long-term goals are very, very important. So when you write your long-term and short-term goals, make sure that you work towards that goal. That is very important. You have to make sure that your employees also working towards. So it's very important that you have to adapt to your new technology. So that's very, very important. Right now, we have something like digital disruption is happening across the world. Everywhere they talk about digital technology, everything going digitalization. What is exactly is happening in digitalization? Even if you look at your all the human parts like heart or other parts of the body is now 3D printing. We go for a much more accurate 3D printing models, not only for replacing the human organs or even for other mechanical parts or anything. So look at that is the digitalization. Okay, and in almost in all the healthcare or other field, we have bringing this digitalization, artificial intelligence. All these things are coming into existence. So adapting to new technology is very, very important. Now almost all the companies are adapting to as a new tech. Now look at the digitalization is also playing a role in terms of education also. Now you're all part of the webinar, you're all part of online education system, online testing, online. So a lot of things. How come digitalization has come a long way due to this COVID-19 pandemic? Almost all have started doing everything in digitalization and steps in starting a startup. So these are things that a successful company, if you want to be a more successful company, see all these things you should keep in mind. That's very important. The steps in starting a startup. So the first is the idea is very, very important. So idea need not be a new idea. If it's a new idea, it's well and good. Otherwise, even a product or a product is already existing, you are going to mold this product, modify with some features so that some of the things which it is not able to solve, which are needed for the client right now, you're able to solve it. This well and good. So that you ought to actually have a proper idea. Then roadmap, a timeline, study, go-to-market strategy, revenue model, pricing, and financial projections for next 1 year. So these are things you should know initially when you want to start a startup. All these things are very much essential for a founder or the CEO of a company starting it. So problem statement. So problem addressed. Problem address was a solution offered. So problem addresses, okay, what problem you want to solve and what type of solution you're going to offer, and overall the competitors right now in the market, why your product is much better than the competitors, in what way, okay, what type of technology or uniqueness you're going to follow, and how we are going to actually bring out this one. I just want to show you one particular 4 minutes pitch in 2021 for a 200K challenge across the world. Okay, a lot of people are competitor, and this particular startup has been given a fund by this. There are some companies, big companies, they're not able to solve some of the problems. They throw up to the startups ecosystem to actually solve this problem. So they conduct a lot of challenges and try to fund such a one of the fund. I just want to show you one 4 minutes startup pitch how they pitched. Okay, so that you'll understand how it's a concept. I just give this. So this 2021 M2D2 200K contest. Just to show you one pitch. Okay, you see just this 4 minutes pitch. How do they pitch?
So with that, I would like to congratulate BioSensei and Ms. Marsden with a 4-minute pitch presentation. Congratulations, BioSensei.
Thank you so much. Wow, really an honor. Thank you. This is incredible. Let me just share my presentation. And it's at multiple temperatures and days, and deployable, showing accuracy in artificial urine. We've even built a low-cost prototype, which is comparable to expensive lab instrumentation. So our technology outperforms the competition because we're the only company to offer a solution which is both affordable and quantitative. Our test is fast to prep, use, and read, and customers can use it at home with minimal training. We're the only company to offer a device which is modular. It's extensible to other tests, which we're working on developing at the moment. So BioSensei, we have an extensive IP portfolio for multiple progesterone sensors, transduction technologies, and an underlying screening platform. Exclusive licensing rights to this IP with Boston University. The platform which we use to identify sensors, we can actually use to improve the sensors themselves. We have low regulatory hurdles because the Lancet device is already approved, and like our competitors, we can get a Class 1 approval with a 510K application. Lastly, our established connections through Boston Medical Center and Boston IVF will allow us to reach our customers. So that brings me to the business model, which is really to start by engaging with contract manufacturers, start producing the device and test it.
In a kind of timeline and understand and see that how you can move towards the next line. And supports required. Identify what type of supports you require from a third party. Look at here in the pitch, you can see that they said that you want to give it to another third party company to develop that particular device for a very cheap. Not that, see, everything you need not, don't think that everything you have to actually develop. Even if you look at the Tesla, their first electric motor run by battery, so that is not been completely developed and through. So they have actually brought from various vendors and assembled them and made their mark, and they started selling it. So certain things you should know that these kind of things can be of less importance, can be obtained from the third party, can be embedded with our product. So those kind of things you should know, whatever supports. So this I've just given an example from clinical support requirements, okay, from the previous pitch what he has given. So whatever of consultants, caretakers, patients, administration staffs, whatever information you want, resources required, hardware support, technical supports requirements. So those kind of things actually talks about other support you need for actually bringing this problem. So it's very, very important that the funding agency, so funds, then I learned from my second startup, I will take it to the next level, that you need the initial good funds. Even though you say that a lot of schemes are available, all the Indian schemes are all like they see a lot of bullish, and nothing is actually they say everything in papers and they see in the parliament, but nothing is so much effective or not much funds. I'll give you one site today. So from 2 o'clock onwards, there is going to be a 4 days live show in India. That will give you a complete picture about what exactly is happening in the startup environment in India. Instead of you listening to my lecture, please log on to this 4 days live session starting from 2 o'clock. All experts across the globe, across India, they'll talk all the schemes, all the things available, what are opportunities available for startups and all these things. You will get a much better idea. So it's very important. You want to start a company, you should keep exploring, you should keep researching, you should keep learning, studying, explore. Okay, nothing comes free of cost, no free lunch. You should keep exploring. So funding agencies, another one where initial investors, seed funds. So we call it a seed fund. So even seed funds, you can get up to 10 lakhs from some of the incubation cells. I don't know whether Arunai is having incubation cell. IIT is having 2 or 3 incubation cells. In that one of the incubation cells only, actually I have deployed actually. But there also still, it's not easy to get funds. Not all startups will get a fund. Okay, there are also a lot of criteria, a lot of things you should go through. Like they'll start with 2 lakhs funds and they can go maximum up to 10 lakhs, not more than that. There are some big grants. Department of Biotechnology is giving big grants to up to 50 lakhs. But this funds and all is like something like they give you, but you have to repay after 1 year or 2 years. No, nothing comes free. No, the interest free, we can say that. They don't charge you any interest, but you have to repay them after 1 year or 2 years, or they'll take some stack hold on your company's margin, profit. They'll ask you some loyalties. A lot of things are there. And family and friends are the very good initially to pump some money. Okay, your family, your parents and your close relatives, they'll help you with some money, and friends. So make sure that you get, even look at the Zoho, the founder Bamboo Sridhar said that he didn't even go for any fundraising at all to any venture capitalist. Everything is funds from the co-partners, founders, and from his relatives, and he slowly raised and built a big empire of reckoning. So it's very important that initially you should not go with this venture capital, because when you go with this venture capitalist, they'll exit, they'll find some point of time to exit your company. At that time they want to get a profit out of it, because it's kind of an investment, kind of a gambling. They invest on your company. After 3 or 4 years, they'll get a good profit out of your company. Then they jump to another company. So in this journey, they will actually try to actually, even though you are the founder or the CEO, they will drive the company. If major funds is being from this venture capitalist, they will drive the company. They will decide the customers. They will decide the managing directors. They will decide everything. So it's not that much easy to actually have a tighten hold on your company when you initially go with venture capitalism. But you can go when you become a public limited company. You can go with some venture capitals funding for you, Series A, Series B, Series C fundings, all these things you would have heard in a bigger level companies. You can see that a lot of millions of money is being pumped in Series A, Series B level funding. So you can go to that level later on. When you start your startup, make sure that you have enough, little bit money. Okay, money is also very important. So initial money to drive your operation costs, and you have to pay your employees. You know, if you look at all this big successful entrepreneurs, you can see at certain stage they even had a lot of financial crisis in paying salaries to the employees, push it to the next level. All these things they've really worked hard, and see that they all have come up with after all these things, and come out with a successful one. So just share you one few HTML, so you can see that this is another website, Startup India. You can all go to this website, Startup India. You get a lot of information about everything, how to start a company, and what are the options available, and what are the funding agents, and how do we register a company. Registering a company is not a big one. It's very simple. You can register it in 2 to 3 months in online. So registering a company or legal ethics all being made very, very simple. Make sure that you own partnership. Instead of a single person proprietary based company, you should go with a partnership, because partnerships have more benefits and things. To partners, but make good minds in actually joining. So startup India have a lot of schemes, venture capital schemes. Just go through this one. You can explore. You can. This will give you a complete picture about what actually the current government is doing. India is concerned. Eligibility, you can apply partnership for application procedures, everything is actually available. You can go to this. One more thing I want to tell you. Today afternoon from 2 o'clock onwards, you have India. Yeah, you can go to this one. You can register. This is going to happen today from 2 o'clock. So please go to this one. All startups. You can just register yourself. It's going to be from 15th to 18th. So you will a lot of things about what is going to happen, and a lot of people is going to enlighten you with a lot of information. It's a big summit happening in India across. So it will be very quite and it's a all of you are interested, please log into this. Just type this one, register, and you will get much better out of it. So thing is, for everything, all other things like ethical and other things like legal, all things will come into my experience. All will come into play. That's all not a problem, but thing is we should have a good entrepreneurial skills and we should run a company. So that's very, very crucial. That is what I personally feel from my two ventures experience. But still, I am having one more.
In this generation, which type of startup will be more effective, sir? In the மாதிரி டைப்ல ஸ்டார்ட்அப் பண்ணா இந்த ஃபீல்ட்ல ஸ்டார்ட்அப் பண்ணா யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும், யூட்டிலைஸ் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு few words.
ஓகே, see, எந்த ஃபீல்டில் நம்ம பண்ணாலும் நமக்கு அந்த ஃபீல்டில் நாலேஜ் இருக்கும், ரொம்ப முக்கியம். நீங்கள் வந்து ஓகே, இப்போ நான் வந்து சாஃப்ட்வேர் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி, நான் கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸு, நான் சாஃப்ட்வேர் பண்ணுறேன். இப்போ எனக்கு மெக்கானிக்கல் தெரியாமல் நான் போய் ஆட்டோமொபைலில் போய் நான் வந்து ஓகே ஒரு கம்பெனியில் நான் வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் திங் இஸ் ஓகே, ஐ ஷுட் பி த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எம்ப்ளாயி. நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும், பெரிய பெரிய கம்பெனிஸ்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பில் கேட்ஸ் கூட பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அந்த டிஸ்க் ஆப்ரேட்டிங் சிஸ்டம், அது வந்து டர்ட்டி ஆப்ரேட்டிங் சிஸ்டம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த காலத்தில் அதை தேர்ட் பார்ட்டி கிட்ட வாங்கி அந்த கஸ்டமருக்கு அதை அப்படியே அசம்பிள் பண்ணி கொஞ்சம் மாடிஃபை பண்ணி அப்படி ப்ரோக்ராமை டீல் பண்ணி, ஸோ அந்த இதெல்லாம் அவருக்கு அந்த நைக்கெலாம் அந்த ஃபவுண்டர் அவருக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு. இப்போ இவர் எடுத்துக்கலாம், ஸ்டீவ் ஜாப்ஸ், ஆப்பிள் கம்ப்யூட்டர்ஸ் இந்த லெவலுக்கு வந்திருக்காகணும். ஸ்டீவ் ஜாப்ஸோட இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ், ஸ்டீவ் ஜாப்ஸோட இன்வால்மெண்ட்டு. ஸோ நம்ம வந்து நமக்கு எதில் பேஷன், எதில் நமக்கு நாலேஜ் அதிகமாக இருக்குது, எதில் நம்மளால் இன்வால்வ் பண்ண முடியுமோ அதில் தான் நம்ம பண்ணணும். அதுதான் நமக்கு வந்து சக்ஸஸ். சரி, இந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரி நல்லா இருக்கு, அந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரி நல்லா இருக்கு அப்படின்னு நம்ம போனோம்னா நம்ம இன்னொருத்தரை டிபெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கணும் எல்லாத்துக்கும். அப்போ வந்து ஹவு ஹீ இஸ் கைடிங் எஸ், ஹவு ஹீ இஸ் டேக்கிங் எஸ் எதுன்றது நமக்கு தெரியாது. அதனால நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுற கம்பெனியில் நம்மளே நம்ம முதல் எம்ப்ளாயா இருக்கும். நம்ம தான் எம்ப்ளாயி, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எம்ப்ளாயி. நம்மளே சிஇஓ சொல்லிக்கணும், நம்மளே பியூனு, நம்மளே ஆஃபீஸ் பாய், எல்லாமே நம்ம தான். சேல்ஸ் மேன், சேல்ஸ் நம்ம தான் போய் பண்ணணும். ஸ்டீவ் ஜாப்ஸும் அவருடைய ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சிஸ்டத்தெல்லாம் தலைமையில தூக்கின்னு போய் தான் அங்கே சேல் பண்ணாரு. ஸோ திங்ஸ் தட் நமக்கு என்ன வருமோ, எந்த ஃபீல்ட் நமக்கு ஒரு பேஷனாக இருக்கோ, எதில் நாலேஜ் அதிகமாக இருக்கோ அதில் தான் நம்ம பண்ணணும். ஈவன் எலான் மாஸ்க் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கூட ஃபிசிக்ஸ் படித்தார் அவர். Initially, he studied physics, so physics was helpful for him for the SpaceX. SpaceX-க்கு அந்த ஆம்பிஷனுக்காகவே ஃபிசிக்ஸ் படித்து ஆக்சுவலி புஷ் அப் பண்ணார். அவர் தான் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 14 hours 18 hours ஒர்க் பண்ணுவார். He works in the Tesla, he is a busy schedule, then works in the SpaceX. அப்புறம் பேட்டரிஸ், பெரிய பெரிய பேட்டரிஸ்லாம் இப்போ வந்து they are actually doing a big manufacturing of batteries. பெரிய பிளான்ட் ஆஸ்திரேலியாவில் இருக்குது, சைனாவில் இருக்குது. So that they're going to bring big batteries which can last for longer hours. அந்த மாதிரிலாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ நம்ம வந்து நம்மளுடைய நாலேஜ் எந்த ஃபீல்டில் நமக்கு அதிகமாக இருக்கோ அதில் நம்ம பெரிய எக்ஸ்பர்ட் ஆகிடலாம். அது என்ன ஃபீல்டானாலும் சரி, இப்போ என்ன இருக்குது அப்படின்றது நம்ம பார்க்க வேண்டிய அவசியம் கிடையாது. எல்லா ஃபீல்டுலையுமே ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இருக்குது. நம்ம அதை எப்படி எடுத்துகிட்டு போகிறோன்றது நெக்ஸ்ட் லெவல்.
தேங்க்யூ சார், தேங்க்யூ லாட் சார்.
Any questions? So anybody want to clarify your doubts? Okay, if no questions, we can wind up. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Nagaraj sir, for your wonderful presentation. You have given a lot of inputs with the suitable examples, and we hope definitely our students got more input about it, how to plan a startup and things. And thank you very much for sparing your valuable time with us.
Thanks, Professor Jaikumar. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Thanks to our beloved principal, and thanks to IIC convener. And finally, thank to all the participants for your active participation. Thank you one and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for patient listening. Thank you.